Hey everybody, welcome to HeatMyShorts. I hope you're all doing well today. We're on episode 64 of Flying Across Canada. We only have 10 more episodes until we reach the east coast of Canada. That's pretty wild. So I'm gonna have a seat in my pilot's chair and get Maggie secured in her co-pilot's chair. If you could all make your way to your seats and we'll get ready for takeoff. I hope your day is going well so far. So, we are back at Porters Lake Airport in Nova Scotia. The airport identification code here is Charlie Foxtrot 4. We're sitting on runway 16 in a Sting S4 Ultralight. We'll be flying a heading of 048, which is northeast, and traveling 55 nautical miles. Our destination for today is Centerdale Airport. The ID code there is Charlie Delta Lima 8. We will be touching down on runway 12 and taxiing to the parking area. Local time is currently 11:17 a.m. and it's an estimated 45-minute flight. And I do have a note here. We just asked, as of last night on my test flight, I have accumulated 300 flight hours in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's pretty exciting to me. That's a few hours in the air. So, take you to the outside of the aircraft and show you our Sting S4 Ultralight. There we go. Here's what it looks like from the outside. We've actually flown this aircraft on the channel before, but it was on a live stream test flight. I can't even remember where we flew. It might have been around the Grand Canyon, but it might not have been. Now we'll zoom in a little bit too. Have a look at stuff, you know. Give it the visual inspection or whatever. Alright. Take it back to the inside. Get ready for takeoff. We do already have our flaps configured for takeoff. So, let's basically get ready here. I feel like I'm forgetting something here. I don't know. Got my timer ready to go. We're just gonna go for it, I suppose. Sierra 4 Hotel Mike Sierra 39er Lima Oscar Foxtrot. We are throttling up. Hope you enjoy the flight. And rotate. There we go. Now our GPS has given us a little bit of trouble again today. Our VFR, I suppose I should say. Oh, I'm rotating the wrong way. See, our course map is not showing up on our VFR, but luckily it is on our Garmin GPS on the dashboard there. So we can follow that line, and I have instrumentation on my desktop here at home as well. Get a line to 048. Well, I just overcorrected actually. There we go. Right around there. Oh, you can see down here we have our course map there, but not on our VFR map. Anyways, let's get our flaps leveled. Let's get our landing lights and taxi lights turned off. And let's trim the aircraft to fly level. There we go, that was easy. Dial back our throttle a little bit. There we go. Back to 75% throttle. There goes Porters Lake Airport. We're heading off to Centerdale. A little bit of weather up ahead, but nothing too severe. Let's try to keep keep our course aligned here. I believe this airplane has autopilot, but I will not be using it today. I prefer to hand fly my aircraft. Alrighty, I'll tell you a little bit about this aircraft. The TL-2000 Sting S4 is a two-seat, single-engine, ultralight aircraft from TL Ultralight of the Czech Republic. The S4 model was introduced in the year 2010 as an improved version of the S4. Sorry, the S3, I wrote that down wrong. An improved version of the S3. This is the S4. Nearly 400 Sting S4s have been produced. A retractable gear version of the S4 is also available now. There are 3 different engines available for the S4. I believe this one has a Rotax 912, 4-cylinder, 4-stroke, liquid-cooled and air-cooled engine. That's liquid and air-cooled. Spinning a 3-bladed composite propeller using 115 horsepower. The maximum speed of the S4 is 255 kilometers per hour, or 158 miles per hour, or 138 knots. The cruise speed is 220 kilometers per hour, 140 miles per hour, or 120 knots at 75% throttle. The stall speed is 63 kilometers per hour, 39 miles per hour, or 34 knots. And I'm not sure if it must be with landing flaps engaged, but it didn't specify. The range is 1,000 kilometers, or 620 miles, or 540 nautical miles. The maximum altitude is 15,000 feet, or 4,572 meters. And that's all I have. That's all I have for information on this aircraft. Let's take the outside. traveling to is actually a little bit tricky to find. It doesn't show up on the VFR map as we get closer, so I kind of need to use my navigation to find it. Fly north a little bit, back on course. Watch for. There's some patches of reddish soil around the Centerdale airport that I'm watching for, and I just kind of lucked out and happened to notice them on our test flight just in time. And I was actually a ways off when I found them, so it was a good thing that I noticed. Us how far we have to go. 36.5 nautical miles to our destination for today. Cool. Refuel there. I'm not sure why we were already low on fuel. That's really weird. I thought I started us with like 80% fuel. Very interesting. Good thing we had that air tanker on standby for refueling there. The joys of flying a simulator, right? You can just call a tanker and refuel instantly. That's weird. I even double checked it. We were at like, I want to say 80% fuel when I set the aircraft up. And I didn't think we were idling on the runway that long. I suppose I should have checked it again before we hit the accelerator. We'll blame Maggie. It was probably her. Right, Maggie? The plane also has an emergency parachute. It's a pretty sweet feature, actually. You pull the chute and it blows a parachute out the back window of the plane. Or ultralight. I guess it's a plane. Yeah, it's still a plane. But that's a pretty cool feature. We might use... No, we won't use that for landing. We'll land properly. This isn't an emergency, as much as it is fun to use it. Yeah, I'm happy that I noticed that distance to destination on there. That really helps. That with our bearing, our heading, should be pretty easy find this airport. Like there's like a chip in the windshield, or a big scratch. There's a few big scratches actually in the canopy. I enjoy it when they put that stuff in there. I don't know. It just makes it feel more real, more lived in. Flying a heading of 05 I'm showing 40 on my desktop gauge. 34 now. Yeah. Bearing must be what we should fly to get us to our destination. Is that what our bearing is? 5-1. We're flying 5-1 now. Yeah, and that puts us right in line. Okay, so that one readjusts and tells us what we need to fly to get there, I guess. See, there we are. We're flying 053 now, and that's what my desktop gauge is showing. That's really interesting. That's really helpful. There's our rate of climb. Here's our elevation, our altitude. Here's our speed, our airspeed. What's that, GS, ground speed? I don't know. See, but that's not changing as I'm changing my yaw, as I'm readjusting the course. What can I say? I'm still learning this stuff. Let's just fly a heading of 051 and see if that gets us to our destination. I think it should. Because you look at that, and that's pointing directly in line with that. We are off from our anticipated course line. There's probably a better word for it than that. You can see it there as well. Yeah, if we get into really thick fog, I can actually even fly just by looking at this screen here. It shows us what we need to see. All of our information, imaging, all the good stuff is there. It's pretty sweet. Technology, eh? Now let's have a look outside again. should have asked this earlier in the video, because there's going to be less and less people watching as the video progresses. But I'm going to ask this now. Maybe I'll ask it in the comments as well. But I'm wondering what we should do once we reach the east coast of Canada. At first, maybe not at first, but previously I was planning on grabbing the Lockheed Martin SR-72 Dark Star from Top Gun Maverick and flying hypersonic from Newfoundland back to British Columbia in one episode. But then I was thinking about what we're gonna do next after Canada, and I'm still not really sure. We could fly west across the ocean, across the Pacific, and keep going that way, or we could fly south. I'm not really sure. Or we could, instead of flying west back across Canada for episode 75, we could fly across the Atlantic Ocean and land in Ireland, and then fly across Ireland for our next flight series. I'm not really sure. I still haven't decided what country to fly next. I don't know if I want to fly USA next, just because it's right next door to Canada, you know, it's just below us. So, I don't know, maybe somewhere different in the world. Let me know in the comments section what we should do for episode 75, where we should fly from Newfoundland to, and then that'll be our next country, whichever country we land in next. We don't necessarily have to fly, you know, west to east or east to west. We could fly north to south or south to north, or, you know, northeast to southwest, whatever we want, really. It's our flight plan. We can do whatever we like, but I'd like your input. I'd like your opinion as well, because I want this to be interesting for you. You know, I can fly wherever I want to when I'm not recording a video, but you might want to see something specific. So let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see for a flight series next. We are off course again. I was talking too much and not watching the instruments. It's just something that I do. I get distracted really easily. So we're 19.3 nautical miles from our destination for today. And I believe it's somewhere right in here that we land. I think it's somewhere right around, or maybe. Yeah, I think it is. Something like that. We've actually landed there already. That's where we started our Nova Scotia journey, was at Trenton Airport. We're flying somewhere just below it, I believe. There we go. Okay. That's that. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's that. Yeah, totally. So we are landing right around here. Yeah, right about there. That's actually... That's probably it right there. Yep, that's gotta be it. Oh, there's our funny looking runways. And I noticed on some of my offline flights, not all the runways look like that right now, so maybe that's actually what that runway looks like. I don't know. I'm gonna bring up my phone actually right now and have a look at some of my destination imaging, have a look at our approach, see what we're up against here. It shouldn't be too long till we're at our destination. Goodness, there's not a lot to look at in the surrounding areas here. We will be landing on the west end of the runway, facing east. So I suppose I'll want to even actually be on the other side of our course line here. I'm gonna fly north here for a little bit until we get on the other side of that line. Need my phone anymore for that. I actually that didn't really help much at all. That's not true. It told me which direction I need to approach from. basically need to readjust the trim every time you change the throttle, and sometimes even just because of, I don't even know, atmosphere changes, pressure changes, I don't really know. I suppose wind, temperature, probably all plays into it. Chance that this could be it right in here. There's a little lake at the end of the runway, a lot of red surrounding it. That could be it. There's a few reddish spots around, so we'll know better once we get closer. Approaching 27 and a half minutes, actually just passing 27 and a half minutes. So if that's our airport, we are making great time today. We are way ahead of schedule. And I could see that being it. We're only 6.2 nautical miles away. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's our airstrip right there. Maggie's giving me nudges, so that was actually her that made the nose dip there. Yeah, I think that's our airport. Get our lights turned back on, our taxi and landing lights. Oh, I suppose that map doesn't actually do us any good here. More. That's our airport for sure. Alrighty, let's dial back our throttle a little bit. Yep, there it is. Get our flaps lowered by 1 notch here. Keep an eye on my speed here. Our stall speed is 34 knots. So that's kind of our target speed as we're hovering over the runway. Maybe not hovering, flaring. It's kind of like a hover. Kinda, almost. A hover while moving forward, which is not a hover at all. Alright, dial back our throttle and mixture a little bit here. And let's get our flaps configured for landing. One more sec. Extended. Drop our throttle a little bit more and lose some altitude. We're up way too high here. 4,000 feet. And I actually don't know what the elevation at this runway is. Oh, and my picture there just cut it out of the frame. I just missed it when I took my imaging. That's Charlie Delta Lima 8. This is Sierra 4 Hotel Mike Sierra 39er Lima Oscar Foxtrot. Approaching runway 12. Descending to 2,000 feet. And then give it a bit of a flare here. Try to bleed off some of our airspeed. We may need to go around here. Coming in a little hot here. No, we might be alright here. Nah, I'm gonna go around actually. I don't like this. My apology. Get our flaps back up. And we'll go around. That was no good. Go a little more power. Should have descended way sooner for that approach. Hotel Mike Sierra going around. Again. Hotel Mike Sierra. Approaching runway 12. Again, not a very good approach here. Let's get our flaps dropped to landing configuration. Drop the throttle now. Another terrible approach by Captain HeatMyShorts. But I think we can make this one work. Looking better already. Yeah, this will be a good one. Hopefully, that's the plan. Not bad. See, it's a weird looking runway, but then it's also over here. That's the part that looks really weird to me. Like, why would they have a strange checker pattern painted there? I don't know. But either way, that's where we're gonna park. That was an okay landing. Better than the first attempt, that's for sure. I probably could have made it work on the first attempt, but it was a little hectic. More hectic than it should be. let's get this thing shut off. Great. Need to turn the fuel off. There it is. Oh. Here we are. Welcome to Centerdale. Charlie Delta Lima 8. Show you the outside. Why not, right? Beautiful day here. Alrighty. Let's have a hangout with Maggie. How long was that? 38 minutes. How is the video only 20 seconds longer than the flight? Oh, I need to zoom this out. Hi there. Ultra close up. There we go. And here's Maggie. I didn't even bring her doggy bed in here today because she never lays on it. I feel like bringing the bed in here just limits where she can lay because she doesn't want to lay on it usually. I don't know how she feels about that, but I don't know. She moved around a couple of times throughout the flight, came and said hello a couple of times, helped to get us to our destination. I couldn't ask for a better co-pilot, really. Are you a good girl? Are you gonna say hello, or are you just gonna kind of pout? Are you just kind of pouting? Hmm? Are you just kind of pouting? You're such a good dog. She's kind of pouting. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the flight. On episode 65, we're gonna be flying a Spitfire Mark 9er Charlie to Port Hawkesbury. Charlie Yankee Papa Delta is the code there. But our next flight video will actually be weapons practice with the A10 Alpha Warthog in DCS World. I'm learning how to fly the A10 Alpha model, and operating the weapon system is a lot more intricate than in the F-15C, so it's a little bit of a learning curve for sure, but it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna be honest with you, I already have my first weapons practice video flown and filmed but not edited, because after this video is done, I'm gonna take the simulator apart and reconfigure my desktop controls. My switch panels are gonna be moved around a little bit, because this one's actually just C-clamped, not C-clamped. What do they call these? F-clamp? I forget what they call these. Quick grip clamps. It's just clamped to the desk. So I'm gonna clamp it down properly, screw it down actually, so I don't have to move it around every time I fly. That's a long story, not quite as long, not short though. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for taking the time to watch, to hang out, fly along with us, and I hope to see you on the next one. This has been HeatMyShorts with Maggie and Steve, The Maggie Show. I love you all. Bye-bye.